Thanks so much for watching. I want to believe you are learning something. And so let me know what you are learning. Practice it. Practice makes man perfect, they say. So practice what we are learning and let me know about it that you are practicing. Let's do this together. Today in our lesson, we are going to learn body measurement for men, how to take measurement on men. So you can sew a trowel or a shirt for a man. For men, basically, in measurement, what you need is the back measurements, the chest. In women, we will say bust, but men will say chest. So you need a chest, you need the armhole, you need the sleeve length, the arm width, you need the shirt length, and you need the waist measurement. If the man is the type with protruding stomach, you have to measure the stomach too, because when you are sewing, you use the larger part of the person to determine the fabric you are going to cut. So if the man's stomach is protruding bigger than the chest and you decide to use the chest measurements to cut the fabric, at the end of the day the dress will be very tight and small on the person. So in this case, you have to measure the stomach too. We'll measure the waistline, we'll know the trowel length, the thigh measurements, the knee, the ankle. That is what we are going to learn today. And so let's go on. I have my clients here. We'll first start with the back measurements. Back measurement. When we're learning the back measurement for women, I said the back starts from exactly where the armpit line is. But when it comes to men, not exactly where the armpit line is, because men, their dresses are not fitting. Because women, our dresses are usually fitted on our body. That is why we usually consider where the armpit line is as our back measurement. But for men, it is not so. And even in women, at times, depending on the kind of style you are sewing, you can decide to go beyond this line. And so for men, shoulder to shoulder, you place it here, shoulder to shoulder, like this. Unlike the women, we came to this, but for men, we are going this direction, shoulder to shoulder. You can also do shoulder to shoulder for women at the same time and do the back measurement. So this is shoulder to shoulder. This is it. And for him it's 17.5, almost 18. Then after the shoulder to shoulder measurement, we are going to measure the chest area. This is a t-shirt, so you see that it's big. If you decide to use this t-shirt measurement, you will sew a shirt and it will look like somebody's dress on him or a father's dress on him. So don't use the t-shirt unless the person is wearing a perfect shirt. You can use that one. So this is the shirts. Men, their shirts, they don't wear it tight. They don't wear it tight. So this is the chest measurements you will need, and that is 34. 34 for him is okay. 34 is okay. If you make it 36, it will be too big on him, too loose on him, unless maybe you are sewing a loose dress for him. If not, 34 is okay. Don't let it be too tight on him. You measure something like this. No, women, we want it fitted on us, but men, they want it a bit free. And so for him, 34 for chest measurement is okay. So from the chest, we are moving to the armhole of the, and men, their armhole is not that tight. It's not that tight. And so with the armhole, for him, 17 for armhole is okay, or 18 is okay, so that it will not be too tight on him. It will not be too tight on him. Okay. Then we'll come to the arm width. This is the arm width. You are not going to make it very tight. It is only when we are sewing kaftan, this kaftan dresses, that usually we make it very tight on the body, and even that's not really tight. Traditional wear, African wear, we don't sew it too tight on the body. So for him, 12 for arm width is okay. If you make it 11, he's a man. If you make it 11, it will be too tight and uncomfortable. 12 will be okay for the arm width. Okay, then we come to the sleeve length. Sleeve length. So you place it exactly where the back measurement ended. Exactly where the back measurement ended. Sleeve length. Consider his sleeve here is 9. So men usually sleeve length is close to, not exactly at the elbow, but a bit above the elbow. So for him, the 9 is okay. And sometimes, depending on the kind of style you are sewing, you can decide to reduce it to 8 or 7. And then you come to long sleeve, you place it exactly there, and then take it down. And for him is 20.5. Then after, you let him fold the hand this way, and then take it close exactly to the elbow area, hold it here and take it here. You get 23. So you can use 23 for him, so that when he folds his hand, it will not be too short or for him. 23 is okay. So you also measure the wrist of the person. And for him, 8 is okay. Measure the top length. So you place the tape measure at the shoulder level here, and then measure the top length. The top length, depending on the kind of style you are, so usually African wears the kaftan type is usually long, but not too long. So for him is 28. 28 is okay to sew a shirt for an average man. 28, 29 is okay to sew a shirt for an average man. If you can also choose to go 26 is also okay, depending on the height of the person. But usually 28 is okay for an average man. So after, we are going to measure the waist. This is the waist of him. His waist. Okay, so you have to know where he puts his trowel. If this is where the trowel is, then you measure there as the waist. Some men, they'll be putting their trowel on their belly, where the belly button is, and so you measure there as the waist. Don't go and be measuring it, and then at the time you realize you have gotten something wrong. Measure here. If the person places the trowel here, the belt here, measure here as the waist. So for him, this is his waist, 31. Then you are going to measure the thigh measurement. So you open his legs. Then when you are measuring the thigh, it's supposed to go up like this. If he's having something in his pocket, tell him to remove it before you get wrong measurements. So I'm making him remove everything in his pocket. I don't want any confusion. Okay, so you go up. It's supposed to go up this way, and then you measure. You would have to decide to communicate with the client how tight or how loose he wants it. And so if it's typical African trouser style for our kaftans, it's usually not loose. Then from there, you are going to measure the knee. By the knee, you measure the waist, from waist to knee. This is his knee, and that is 16.5. Then waist to ankle, that will be his trouser length, which is 31 around the knee. And also measure to know what you want. So 15 for him is okay. Then you come to the ankle area, so you measure how tight or how loose you want it 12 is okay. When it comes to the crotch area, the flap area, how to get the flap, we have a measurement, standard measurement for it. You don't really necessarily have to measure the crotch, but if you still want to measure the crotch, you look at where the waistline is, where the trousers is, the trousers of the person is. Then you place it inside here, and it has to be on the at the edge, or at the edge of the trousers like this. Then one will come at the edge, the back one like this, and it's 21. I don't measure men their crotch. I don't measure. I use the standard measurements to do it, because you're a woman. Sometimes you might feel a bit uncomfortable measuring a man's crotch, and so you can just avoid measuring that and then use the standard measurement we use based on the length, the trouser length of the person. It will tell you the standard measurement. When we get to the cutting part, I will let you know all that. One of the methods in also measuring the crotch is you let the person sit straight up, and then you would place it at the waist level and come to the seat, where the seat is. That is 7 for him, 7. So this is what you can use also to calculate your crotch. But as I said, we have standard measurement for it, and when we get to the cutting, you will know. So far this is measurement for men, what you need to take to sew a dress or shirt or trousers for men. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being part of this. Please practice it and let me know how it's going. What have you learned from this lesson? Communicate with me. Comment on the comment section and let me know what you have learned. I will leave if you want measurement for women, I will leave the link in the description section so you can click on it. Thanks and bye bye.